Howdy and welcome. I'm Mike, world's self-proclaimed best-dressed solo board gamer. Today, we are doing a fantastic mashup that I have created of Unsettled and Rococo put together. That's right. So I'm going to teach you this solo variant and just briefly show you how it plays. So how does it work? Well, you set up Unsettled just as you normally would. I'm using the Planet Box Gracchus for this particular setup. You can use any Planet Box that I'm aware of. I'm on the third scenario. No, I'm sorry, Survival Task B on Gracchus, if you're curious. All right, so we got our normal setup. We've got Brachus and Dacus right here on the planet Gracchus, and of course their trusty friend Luna. But wait, this variant has another crew member. You see, Brachus and Dacus and Luna, they were also traveling with Queen Marie Antoinette. And these are all parts from the game Rococo Deluxe. We've got Queen Marie Antoinette, and Queen Marie Antoinette is a very helpful crew member, but she just loves fashion. Oh my goodness, she just loves it. So what she does is she tries to craft these fantastic garments to put on a fashion show to distract the wildlife on the planet and buy time for the other crew members. How does that work? Well, first of all, I've got my trusty little sheet here of the actions that the Queen can take. The Queen functions a lot like Luna in that she is able to take a turn during each player's turn. So Dracus here would take his movement and he would be able to either move Luna so he can move Luna and he can also mine for materials or analyze data, right? So that can be done at any time during a player's turn, similar to Queen Marie Antoinette. So during a player's turn, the Queen, just like Luna, gets one free move. However, she likes to stay behind others. She's not one to adventure on her own. This is the Queen after all. So she must end her movement on a node with another player. So when she's in the field, she can take one move as long as that move ends in a space with another player. Just like with Luna, keep it simple. She doesn't obey any of the node end symbols. She's just traveling around. When in the field, she can then play a card. There are 5 cards in her hand. Or she can program the scarab to craft a new design for a new outfit. You can do one of those 2 things during your turn. When you're at the scarab, or in the case of this Gracchus scenario, the scarab has been stolen by a behemoth. So the Queen has managed to set up in the sheltering oasis where you start a nice little fashion shop, okay? So you can pretend that this is the scarab for the purpose of this run. When in the scarab, you can craft garments or you can put on a fashion show, and we'll get to those. Fashion shows, they cost $10, but they let you gain 1 time for each VP on display in that fashion show. All right, I know that may seem like a lot. It's really not. Let's take a look at this. So for setup, I have the game set up as normal. I've put 5 threads. You can put however many you want, but you just need to have thread and you need to have some lace. Just put them wherever they fit. I put them right here on the planet specific tokens. Seems appropriate. And then you need your coins. I love these metal coins, but of course use whatever coins you have. You don't need this many, they're just there. I just use the thimble as the first player token. Since I'm controlling 2 different characters, sometimes I forget where I am, so I just use the thimble to be my 1 player token. All right, cool. You of course need Queen Marie Antoinette on the board. The only other thing is you'll see that I've taken these resource tokens randomly and placed 1 face down on each tile. And this allows the Queen to travel and play a card to collect materials in order to make her designs. Other than that, you're going to have the starting hand that comes with any Rococo color or Rococo family. So you're going to have your 1, 2 masters, your 2 apprentice and 1 journeyman that you can play on the queen's turn. So let's do a sample run of the game. First of all, we're going to start with Dracus over here. Dracus is going to take a move. He's going to move over to the Feasting Cliffs. If you are elevated, you may spend 2 pips to cautiously feast. I don't really want to do that right now. They're grounded. So I moved over here. I passed the insight, so I go up 1. I passed the time, so the time goes up 1. Well, that's not good at all. I'm going to need Queen Marie Antoinette to buy me some more time. I also get to move Luna, so before I use any dice, I may as well move Luna around, and I may as well move her over here, and we are going to roll for some data. Let's roll for data. 3, sweet. So we get 3 on that node. Luna's taken her turn. I don't need to use her special ability. So now I've got the 3 dice. Now I can have the queen take her action at any time during the turn. So just to demonstrate, I'm going to do that. The queen gets 1 free move, and she has to end on a node with another player. That includes Luna, so that she feels safe. So we're going to move over here. And now I have a choice. I can either use my turn to let a fabric design be created by the scarab, or in this case, the computer at the Sheltering Oasis, or I can gather materials by playing a card. So I'm going to play a card first. So I'm going to play this guy right here. I'm going to play my apprentice. So I discard that, and that means I get to pick up a design or a material. That's fantastic. So I pick it up and I put it on my Sheltering Oasis. Now I have a choice, just like in Rococo. Look, it's just a mashup of the 2 games. There's no other roles added. I can either keep this for 2 fabrics or discard it for 1 silk. I'm going to keep it for the 2 fabrics for now. Also, I get the benefit listed on the card, so I played it to collect my resource. I also get to draw 1 extra resource from the bag. So I've got my bag with my resources, and let's see what I get. Sweet. Now that's 2 more pink fabrics and a spool of thread, so I'm going to discard, since I already have those. I'll discard that and gain a spool of thread. All of your resources go onto your scarab, or in this case, the Sheltering Oasis. To remind you, you can only use these when the queen is back here, right? And she's traveling around with her entourage, of course, of apprentices. I actually like to discard my apprentices on the scarab or the Sheltering Oasis here, just to remind me that they have done their task and they've run back to where they are. And in order for me to refresh them back into my hand, I just need to get back here. Okay, cool. So I have materials, but that ends the queen's turn. That's all she can do. Simple. So now, of course, Dracus here gets to use his 3 dice. Let's go ahead and end the turn by resting. Turn my pip up. Time goes up 1. And that's it. You'll notice that I put a cube. I put a 10 livre right here. And that's just to remind me that it costs 10 for me to put on a fashion show. All right, so the queen's out there. She's feeling safe. Cool. Let's see what other kind of action she can take. So now we've got Brackus here. And Brackus, let's see. If Brackus moves, then the queen's going to be trapped here. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to move the queen first. Remind me. There we go. It's Dracus' turn. So I'm going to move the queen here first. That's her 1 move action. So I'm back here. Automatically, that means that I get whatever apprentice is there back in my hand. That's great. Again, if you just place them here, it helps you remember. Now, instead of collecting a material by playing a card, I'm going to have the computers here fabricate a pattern. so that we have something to work toward. If we're gonna put on a fashion show to gain time, well, we gotta have some patterns, right? So draw from the bag, that's what I'm doing for my turn. There we go. We've got a pattern right here that I can fabricate. So I'm gonna leave it that side up, and I just need an orange fabric and a thread. Well, I've got thread, but I have no orange fabric if I wanna craft that one. Okay, well that ends the queen's turn. So then of course we move on and have Dracus here finish his turn, have Luna move around. All right, we're gonna jump ahead. So we've taken several turns, we're well along with our tasks, but regarding the queen, now we see she has traveled around and she has collected a few different materials. She's got some silk, she's got some thread, and she's got 3 patterns that have been generated. So now it's time for her to make her way back to the scarab, or in this case, the sheltered oasis, and craft some garments with her team. She came back here, which means any cards that were used get to come back to her hand. So let's craft some garments. The rules follow the same as Rococo. If there's a golden thimble, only the master can craft that garment. I always forget what they're called, the apprentices. The apprentices, they cannot craft garments, just like in Rococo. The journeyman can craft any garment that doesn't have the golden thimble. Again, same exact rules as Rococo, just mashed together here for fun. So let's go ahead and use her turn. Just like on my cheat sheet, she gets a free move, but I don't want her to move. So when in the scarab, choose one. Craft garments or put on a fashion show. Well, I'm gonna craft a garment. So let's say I can craft, let's craft this one that requires a master. I'm gonna play my master, put him down, and create this garment. So I need to discard my materials. I've got 2 pink and 1 thread. Okay, and I discard those, just put the thread back in the supply. Now I have a choice. I can either keep this for its 3 victory points, or in this case that means during a fashion show, this earns me 3 time. We move the time back 1 space for each victory point listed here. Or I can sell it, I can put it in the Scarab's online marketplace for 12 gold. The people that are buying it don't have to know that we're lost in the middle of space and they'll never get it. They don't need to know that. So right now, I just need a garment first. There's no point in me having money without a garment. So I'm gonna keep it. So I flip it over, and now this is gonna be a part of my fashion show. Pretty cool. That's the end of her turn. Then I would go on to finishing my player turn, moving Luna, and we're gonna come back and we're gonna pretend it's Queen Marie Antoinette's turn again. All right, so she has 1 garment and we really need time, okay? We really need time right now. So we're gonna craft another garment, but we're gonna sell this one on the market for money so we can put on that fashion show. So let's craft another garment. That's my 1 action I can take. It looks like I need orange fabric and silk. I've got both. I'm gonna put the silk back in the supply, discard the fabric, and this beautiful, beautiful frock is worth 18 gold. That's awesome. That gives me 1 fashion show out of that. So I'm gonna sell it, just discard it to the side, and grab yourself 10 gold, or livre in this case. It is Queen Marie Antoinette. So I have 10, 15, 16, 17, I have 18 livre. Awesome. That's the only action she can take though. That's the only action she can take. So I'm gonna go back and finish my player's turn, unless they've already finished, and go to the next player. So let's say it's the next player's turn, and we get to take Queen Marie Antoinette's turn. Awesome. So now she's gonna put on a fashion show. Look, we've only got 1 garment, but we just need the money. So let's do the fashion show. Let's spend 10 livre, put it back in the bank, and now we get to run our fashion show. These guys are gonna go out in their best gowns, your crew, and they're gonna distract all that wildlife so much that it buys our dudes time on the planet. So that's 3 victory points. That means 3 time points. We go 1, 2, and reverse 3, and we all gain 1 endurance. So we take our endurance up 1 on the track. That's fantastic. Now what might happen though if you have more than 1 on display? You can put the same fashion show on more than once. So let's say we do it again. What if we had 2? We could have 2 garments. Well, we don't have enough money. I've only got 8 livre. So I need to design another garment. But if we had enough money, let's say we had 10 livre, and I had 2 garments on display, look, that's 5 points. So I would get to run the fashion show and go back 5. The hard part about that is, of course, you need to have the money. You need the 10 livre to put on the fashion show. You also need the materials to make the gown. So it's a little harder than you might think. But even though it adds some complexity, it can make the game more possible to beat. To finish the game, you just need to make sure that Queen Marie Antoinette has to finish all of the same end conditions that Luna would need to meet. So if it says the crew and Luna must all be on the scarab or at a certain location, then so does Queen Marie Antoinette. We can't leave her on the surface of the planet by herself with her entourage. Oh my goodness, no, that just cannot be. So we would get Luna back there and the crew, and Marie Antoinette has to be there as well. And then mission accomplished. Well done. Did you enjoy this mashup? Please give me a like to let me know that you would like to see another mashup. I'm thinking Nemesis invades Rococo. So they're going to actually invade the Rococo game board, invading the palace, kidnapping or eating or whatever terrible thing those intruders do. What is your dream mashup? It doesn't have to be a board game. Maybe it's a board game and a video game, or a movie or a book or a comic. What 2 things need to collide to make your life complete? Let me know in the comments. Let me know any changes that need to be made or that you want to make. Check out my overview of Unsettled in 80 seconds next. I love you all. I'm going to see you next time.